The truth is, if you want to change your life and be more productive, you actually need to change your default behaviors. So, what are those defaults that are harming your productivity, and how can you address to truly change them in a productive and a long term and a healthy way? So, here's default behavior 1: keeping your inbox open all day long. Okay, so what happens when the inbox is open all day long? It's a compulsion and it becomes a routine and finally a habit to go back and look at the mail, to clear it off, because that's natural to do, isn't it? There is data to say that people open 70% of emails in under 6 seconds, which is why 84% of people keep their inboxes open all day. So what's this say is that there is a feeling that you finished work by clearing the mails, but probably when you really analyze this, you know that it's not meaningful work. So what is the solution? Ding dong. So here's the solution. The first thing is to work or clear emails in bursts, or keep the emails open for some time and work on your emails, like block your day to keep answering or clearing your emails in bursts, rather than keeping it open the entire day and there is this urge to go back to look at your emails constantly and clear them. Okay, so change your always available to working in bursts. Instead of constantly monitoring your inbox throughout the day, change your default behavior to working on emails in batches. Lovely. So this means setting aside specific times throughout a day for you to look at emails. It need not be the entire day that you're looking at emails. Not only will this help you focus on more meaningful work, but research has shown that communicating in bursts like this makes teams more productive and creative. How do you like that? Please do comment on the first default behavior and what do you generally do and how can you change it. Okay, let's move to default behavior 2. What is default behavior 2? It's actually responding to chat messages and texts immediately. I do this. When I'm in it, it's very difficult for me not to respond to chat messages and texts. So what does data say? Unfortunately, 75% of people have never spoken with a co-worker or manager about their response time expectations. So what does it mean? Compared to your inbox, chat apps and texts are even harder to control, and that's the way it's designed. Okay, so email at least we can block, but the chat box and text, the WhatsApp messages that are there constantly with notifications, with reminders, it's very easy to go back to that. So real-time communication sets the expectation that you're always available, right? So, and for many of us, our default behavior supports just that, because we have to get back sending those messages, right? So even if a message is meant for whenever you have time, we feel a pang of needing to check and respond. But just like email, this default behavior keeps you from being truly productive. So there is this pang to get back to answering those texts, chats, messages. But it's exactly like the email that it's not productive. So then what's the solution? Create a communication contract with your team. The only way you can change your default behavior with communication is to set expectations on response time. Okay, so what is the solution? Create a communication kind of a contract with your team. The only way, to have an effective and a meaningful communication is by creating this contract with your team. And as I told you of the data point initially, unfortunately, only 75% of people have never spoken with a coworker or manager about their response time expectations. What do I expect from my team person? Do I have to reply immediately, or you reply by afternoon, or you reply by end of the day, so that you know that by this time you will get back to them and there isn't any insecurity either with your manager or with your own self in responding immediately, especially if you're in the middle of something, okay? So we have these questions in our mind. Are text messages more important, more serious than Slack messages? Do chat messages need an immediate response? Can certain communication mediums be dealt with during the same burst as your emails. So the thing is, we need to be able to switch our notifications off, pop-ups for various channels that come up. Otherwise, there is this pang to get back in seeing those messages, and then it's a vicious loop for us, because it's the way it's also designed for us to get there, look at what it is, and probably get sold in that medium of communication and be in it, engage in it. So how are we going to stop ourselves? Is one of the ways is to stop the notifications of your emails, of your chat messages. Okay, so turn off mobile notifications, and more to make sure you're not getting pulled into chats when you don't want to be. This is very important. Getting pulled into chats when you don't want to be, right? That's very important. Okay, so let's move into default number 3. What is that? Leaving endless tabs open. Let's discuss about this. This is something that I have seen many people when you're doing certain research on certain area, or when you're trying to find a solution. And I'm sure right now, if you look at the number of tabs that are open in your workspace, it probably would be 5 to 274 tabs, right? So why is this that we have this tendency to keep these tabs open all of the time? Is probably we want to look at that one solution that you might get in one of the tabs that you've researched a little bit, and you want to go back and look at it. So this is a tendency which actually doesn't have a solution, because it only lessens your productivity. So if you're looking at answers, the solution is, and in fact one of the technology experts, a hacker, Dan Silvestri, what he recommends is clearing to neutral. He uses this terminology called clearing to neutral multiple times throughout the day. So what does clearing to neutral mean? Is just as after dinner, you clear the table. Like that, we need to keep clearing our workspace every time we've finished doing something. It could be a research point that you've done. So look at it, make notes, close it. It could be a social media point that you've gone into, you've looked at it, but we also need to remember to close it. Okay, if you're leaving the office, spend 5 minutes throwing everything unnecessary away. We don't do this, right? Or at the end of the day, do we clear our desk for it to be ready for us to use the next day, right? So do we throw away things that are not required? Also clear neutral. So this is the terminology, clearing to neutral, during the day. So don't leave sort of endless tabs open. So browsing social media, no issues. Open the app, browse, then log out, right? And clearing to neutral actually helps you eliminate friction points and reduce your tendency to procrastinate, because there's so many tabs that are open there that there is a possibility that you feel that there's so much to do, and you then delay it because it's so much out there that the brain is right away seeing right in front of your eyes. So please don't leave the tabs open. So it's called clearing to neutral. Okay, tempting you to be distracted, and procrastination what will happen if you keep those tabs open? Reset your default behavior, which is the solution, but constantly clearing your workspace to neutral. I love the term clearing to neutral. Okay? Multiple times throughout the day. Wonderful. So default behavior number 4, constantly being available even outside of work hours, especially in a COVID kind of an eternally connected kind of a world, and world has really become small in that sense, which is a positive. But there's extreme stress that's getting expressed by so many people. There's a McKinsey's report on how the stress levels have actually increased in the workspace, right? So now one of the reasons being the way we think about constantly being connected during our work hours, right? So it also makes it challenging to be fully present when family is around, because you're working from home, and we need to keep switching from here to there, probably just a step outside of your room, and you have your family. So how do we not do this of constantly being available? There is research to say, which is what I want to read here, is worse. Research shows that people who are unable to psychologically disconnect from work experience more work fatigue, worse procrastination, and poor work-life balance. This is the brain science research that is done. So having said that, what is the solution? So some of the things that I say is to always be available to your supervisor or co-workers. Is that the way you see work is? So this requires a little bit of shift in your thinking process. It's not about just doing, but we need to start with thinking. So what do you think about being at work? Is it to be available all the time, forever, whenever your boss texts you, immediately you reply? So how do you think about this aspect of? So these are questions that you need to answer. To be always available to your supervisor and co-workers, is that healthy working? We need to set guard rails on to your work day and stick to them, because if you're not able to do that, then we'll feel that we're eternally available at work, right? So when it comes to changing your default behavior of being always available, you first need to change the way you think about work. Okay, having said that, the fundamental change that we need to make in thinking needs to be followed by fundamental changes in behavior, right? Once you think, you feel, and then you also behave. If you're able to make that slight paradigm shift in, I might be using, the usual corporate jargons here, but if you can make that shift, your mental shift in thinking process, how you want to see being yourself at work, what is healthy working, then probably you will start also behaving in the same way. So quit chat and email apps at the end of the day and delete them off your phone, and disable notifications when you're with your friends and family. Okay, so this is extremely important, because if something pops up there, it's very natural sort of a tendency for us to go, and very curious for us to go and see what is it. So it's better to switch that off. Your goal is to have space to breathe, right? At the end of the work day, to think about things other than work and truly rest. So change your behaviors, change your life. In the movie Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm actually says that it's a very famous line, that life finds a way. So how does life find your way? Is if you change your behaviors, it will change also your life. So the same can be said for our propensity to be distracted or to even procrastinate. So if you want to truly change your life, it's not enough to rely on tools, hacks and tricks, because there are so many of those tools and hacks and tricks that you find, but somehow it doesn't seem to be working. What is going to work is change the way you think, so that it'll change the way you behave, and therefore it'll change your life. Action in terms of thinking, then your behavior, and then finally you'll see that there is magic that's happening in your life. True change comes when you reset your default behaviors, and this entire video is about default behaviors. I think it's something that I picked up while I was researching on how can you change your habits. And we generally talk about tools to change your habits, but for us to change your habits, it's important to know what are your default behaviors. And that's what I was actually addressing in this particular video. So when you fundamentally change the way you think about things like email, chats, and texting and social media. Let me repeat this. When you fundamentally change the way you think about emails, chats, texts, and social media, you will change your life, because it's a question of changing your behavior. So it's only when you do these things that your life will change for the better. Like while I'm reading this, it's something that I want to share with you, that there are certain behavior changes that I have made, and that's something that I'm going to be sharing with you in my next video, as what are the behavioral changes I have made to change my life. And I'll be very honest. Okay, so this is first to identify the problems, which is what are your default behaviors. Wonderful. And if you like the video, please comment, please generously comment on the default behaviors. What are your default behaviors? Comment on those, and do like the video, and do subscribe to my channel, and do attend my 3-day WhatsApp class on Discover the Superwoman Inside You. The link of it is below. And wonderful. Thank you so much. It was great making this video. Waiting for your comments so that I can reply back. Take care. Bye-bye.